The power of conversational hypnosis for incredibly persuasive sales letters. There are several elements of a successful sales page. You've got to create rapport with your reader. Your reader has got to be convinced you know what you're talking about. Your reader has got to be convinced that you fully understand their problem, and that you are uniquely qualified to provide a solution. They've also got to be convinced that your solution can help them. Of course, they won't take your word for it. They've got to see evidence. Even a page full of testimonials saying how great your product is might not convince them. Even when you consciously spell all these elements, they may not work. Why? Because isn't not enough to demonstrate these on a conscious level. You can tell your readers that you're an expert until you are blue in the face, but if they don't get it on a deep level, you might as well be speaking a language they can't understand. You've got to hit them on an unconscious level. You've got to fire off those deep emotional triggers. Here's an example. Let's say you're hungry. You see a picture of a pizza. Suddenly, you want pizza. Why do you want it? Did you consciously calculate the taste you would experience, and read the testimonials at the bottom of the pizza ad? Did you see a quote from a world-famous pizza expert on top, and then consciously decide that since he's a pizza expert, you'd better do what he says? Of course not. You saw the pizza, and bang! You wanted pizza. There was no rational explanation. Sure, you might have come up with a rational excuse afterwards, maybe to explain to your wife or husband why you spent the rent money on pizza, but that's just an after-the-fact excuse. The truth is that we buy things not because of logic, but because of emotions. And if you're selling anything, be it an idea to your spouse, or a weight loss product to a bunch of nameless online customers, you've got to convince them on an emotional, unconscious level. How do you do this? Through the power of covert hypnosis. Specifically, the Milton model. Milton Erickson was a world-famous therapist. Only when people came to see him, he treated them differently. It wasn't like on The Sopranos, when Tony Soprano would see the same shrink week after week for years and never really solve anything. People would come to Erickson, tell them their problem, and then he'd tell them a strange, seemingly unrelated story, but then after 1 or 2 sessions, they'd be cured. His communication style was later modeled and codified into what is now known as the Milton model. It's a collection of powerful language patterns that, when used correctly, can be incredibly persuasive. These are the same patterns he used to quickly and easily cure people of their lifelong phobias and limitations. People that had tried everything were magically cured in a matter of hours. Do you think you could use these patterns to sell a $39.99 ebook?